we're taking the Kraton 8S out for a general bash session and a little bit of chat about the XLX2 fires. I've got my ideas on this. I'm not an electrical engineer. I've seen the thing that Castle put out. Kind of wondering about some of that just a little bit. So, you guys are from all over the world. You guys got multiple skills that I could never have. So, I'm interested to read your comments on your thoughts about my thoughts about the issues with the Castles. Luckily, I've not had that issue. And these were, I got two of them. And this one and the X-Max. And they were both like brand new first run as far as I know. Luckily, I haven't had that issue. Anyway, guys, I'm going to show you the setup, and then we're going to get right outside and get this bash chat going. Let's go. So here's the setup. Got some Vitavon stuff on it, all four corners. So the 800 kV motor. This is actually the non-censored one. So this is not the newer censored motor, but it does seem to work fine. But still haven't had any issues with the ESCs other than excessive load. Had that when I first started. But right now I've got a 45 tooth pinion gear with a 47 tooth stock spur gear. Seems to run pretty good. I do have to say, when I first took these out, I was getting the excessive load. I was told to reinstall the firmware into the ESC. Did it work or not? I'm not sure, but it seems to be doing all right. So right here, these batteries are about the best $40 battery you can buy. But they're just kind of weak as opposed to these. These right here are a lot stronger. Now, when I was getting the excessive load, I was getting it with these batteries, not these. Because these batteries have a lot more amps, more power coming out of it than these do. So, but at least that's my theory. I'm interested to hear what you guys have to say.
All right, can you tell it's not censored? Well, anyway, we're gonna get chatting right up at the start. So one of the biggest issues that I've seen online is dealing with the motors. Now the Castle motors are a Y wind, and some of your faster motors, a lot of your other motors, are D or delta wind. So, and that seems to be the biggest issue. I mean, the 1100 kV is a major amp hog of a motor. I've actually seen amps on my data logs of, I don't know, 600. So it's kind of, that's a lot of amps. And when I was getting the amps like that, that's when I was getting that excessive load. And the lesser batteries didn't have the amps output to actually give me the excessive load. It's kind of odd, but anyway, I haven't had the issue. Mine runs pretty darn good, actually. No issues. Handles good. The BEC on the Castle XLX. Oh, really? I got it stuck? Nah. You can see I'm not the only guy out here that tears up the grass. These are real trucks. They do a lot more damage than I do. What I do just kind of grows back pretty quick. But anyways, the motor windings, you see guys power them up, they go up into flames. Just read the service advisory about possible misalignment on the bus bars. So that's an absolute issue with Castle right there. You know, been running Castle for quite a while. But in addition to the D-wind motors not being really working well with the CSC, it's the high KV. The guy's really pushing it to the limit, you know, and kind of makes me wonder who actually did the testing on these ESCs before they went out. Was it a bunch of yes men? You know, thank you, I'm gonna make it look totally perfect and everything's flawless and all that? Or were they like legit say, hey guys, I'm having this issue, having that issue. Mine, poof, went into flames. You know, it kind of depends on who's actually testing the equipment. Sometimes I get to test stuff, but it's rare that I get pre-production stuff. But I do it every now and then. And if there is an issue, I usually get right back. Oh man, I gotta tighten my wheel. See that? Running my mouth, wheel fell off. At least I found the nut. But anyway, let me get that back on. But yeah, when I have an issue, I usually get right back with the manufacturer and say, hey, this is the issue. And if I happen to know what I'm testing, I do what I can to help them out. Like when your nuts fall off. All right. So as it turns out, I did not bring a 24mm wheel nut wrench with me. We may see that come off again. But I do want to chat a little bit also about battery connectors. You know, in the pictures that I've seen of these ESCs going up in flames, the one thing that usually sticks out, I've seen one picture of the 8mm plugs actually burnt up, which was kind of odd. And most of the pictures that I've seen, maybe I haven't seen the right ones, the battery plugs are fine. Even the XC90 plugs, like I'm running on this one right here. So, kind of makes me wonder a little bit, if the ESC dead shorts, then that's directly across the batteries. If the plugs are a problem, they'll act like a fuse. They'll burn up, they'll discolor. They'll just, you know, get really discolored and melt. Like in case that we've run the beams before, you know, in like 1/8 scale and melted the solder off of them. That's just something that I've messed with. But I'm not seeing many plugs discolored or burnt up, which kind of leads me to believe it's not really the battery plugs. But like I said at the start, you guys have, you see my arm just flapping away, kind of running my mouth. But at the start, you guys have a lot more experience. You know, some of you guys are major electronic majors, you know, you guys. So comment down below and, you know, correct me on this. But I'm just going by what I'm seeing online. I've not had the fire, thank goodness. Ooh, that was a little rough. But it's, I don't know, man. It's just one of them things, you know. I just kind of have an issue. I think the issue is more with the motors than it is anything else. I mean, we've all seen Kevin's. He had a couple of them burn up on him, and he's the big guy in the RC world, especially online. Might have to tighten that wheel nut again. But yeah, it just wasn't a good thing. But anyway, I'm gonna tighten my wheel nut. Tighten back up. And I gotta remember what the heck I was talking about. I know it's about the ESC. So, let me see, a battery terminal? Is that what it was? Ooh, hold up a second. Had to do a break in the chat. You guys know I like my donuts. Woohoo! Now, if that wheel nut comes off up there, I might be lost it. That was beautiful. Oh my God. I've got to go get my wrench. This is horrible. All right, I found these in my little safety kit in the car. Maybe that nut will stay. We can now continue. Okay, now that my nut's tight, hopefully I can continue on. Now, I had a few minutes there to read the service advisory again, and they're talking about they're working on a firmware that will allow use of the D-wind motors and over 2000 kV. Now, I've asked this before and got a little bit ridiculed about, in the past, I recall motors, if they were too high of a kV, they didn't work with the ESC. Something about the cycles and speed of the ESC versus the motor. Maybe you guys can talk about that a little bit, because I'm totally interested to see if there's anybody else that kind of feels the same way I do about that. Now, if they're working on a firmware to allow over 2000 kV motors, maybe that's a legit thing. But they also mentioned in the service advisory the Monster X8S. Now, obviously, I've got a couple of those as well, but I haven't. We got some bushes to plow through. But anyway, I haven't had any issues with those either. But they're more designed to compete against, say, the Max 6 from Hobbywing. You know? So, anyway, let's see what we got going here. Right, spawn. Oh, I'm hung up. That was kind of interesting. That was cool. We're going to try that again, just for the heck of it. Ha ha ha. Okay, let's do it again. I'm detracting. I'm having a little bit more fun. Beautiful. Oh, man. This thing is handling great today. Oh. What I had to do there was throttle it to keep the front up, because if I would have plowed that at an angle, it might would have actually broke the thing. But it is what it is. Now, at the start, I mentioned batteries and the excessive load thing. I'd like to kind of explain a little bit about that if I can. And basically, what I was getting at is the 5,000 milliamp Turnigies. Those are possibly the best $40 4S battery on the market, but the best $40 4S battery. The batteries that I'm running in here, the 7200 milliamp power hobbies, they've got a lot more available amp output. And now, if the battery is good for, say, 300 amps, but the motor only needs 100 amps to run, that's all that's going to get. You don't push amps through the ESC. But if they're available, the ESC can pass the amps. You know, like when you throttle this thing up, this may take a 300 amp burst to get that. You know, but cruising around like this, it's probably only running about 40 amps at the most. So you're not pushing the full battery amps through it. You don't push amps. Right now the ESC is only flowing about 40 amps, and you can see this in the data log. So, but anyway, yeah, with the 5,000 milliamp Turnigies, I was not getting the excessive load because they didn't have the amps to power everything to its maximum potential. These right here, they do. They have a lot more amps, and that's why I was getting the excessive load. The firmware re-download seemed like it may have worked. I mean, it seems to be running fine. So now, as far as batteries go, it's possible I may have a brand new set of batteries on the way from Jen's Ace. Yeah, I'm working on getting a set of those new 11,000 milliamp 4S batteries, and they are geared for the Kraton 8S. So they are, you talk about punch, those are going to be it. I feel they'll be excellent in these trucks right here, but also really good in the bigger fit scales like the XLX 2.0. That's something that I'm really looking forward to getting them in, because the XLX is a major amp hog. I got the 9,000 milliamp power hobbies, and just about every time I take it out now, those are what I run in it, just because they've got so much power and they last a decent time. I got the stock ESC, stock motor with the 18 tooth pinion gear, and the thing runs really good with big batteries. I want to put an XLX in there, but considering how many amps that thing pulls, yeah, you know, I'm a little bit wondering about that one. In all honesty, I'd like to have 2 more XLX2s, because I run the Mamba Monster X8S in the little Outcast, and there is a difference in the power that flows through the Mamba 8X, Monster 8X, and the XLX2. There really is. This guy right here, massive punch. Let's see if I got enough traction to wheelie it. Why, yes I do. You gotta be careful doing stunts like that. And that. Hold that trigger too long, you get hurt. But anyway, I think this was a good chat on a current hot topic. Like I said, I'm really interested to read you guys' comments on that, because you guys bring a lot more experience and expertise than I have. And I learn by reading your comments. Even those of you guys that say, I can't do it, I'm a horrible driver, well, you gotta realize, I'm not bragging, it's all one-handed, guys. That's right, the back flips, the front flips, it's all one-handed. Love it. Oh no. Okay, we're gonna end this one right here. I got to go hunt that nut again.
Well, the craziest part of this video was that wheel nut. Anyways, luckily I was able to find the pliers, got it tightened up enough to pretty much finish the video. Now, on the XLX2, those are kind of my thoughts on it. You know, I have a hard time believing that the plugs could be the issue when the pictures I see, the plugs look brand new. They are not discolored. There was a couple, I think I saw the 8mm, that they were burnt. That tells you there was a dead short through that ESC on the batteries. That's a different story there. That's something a little bit different than what most of the pictures that I see. Now the next part is on you guys. A lot of you guys really have some intricate knowledge of the electronics and these things, how the power is transferred from the battery to the motor, what components fail and what happens when they fail. So comment down below. I absolutely want to learn as much about this as I can, you know, versus me just talking what I see on the internet or what happens to me personally. I like to actually read some real facts and knowledge. So I do believe the issue is more in the D style windings of the motors. That's what I really feel the biggest issue is with it. I mean, I can tell you with this vehicle right here, the 1100 wasn't really a good fit for it, but the 800 is. 800 runs great. And the X-Max is a little bit lighter than this by about 10 pounds or so, and the 1100 runs great in that. But it's a little bit of a gearing, weight, and just overall driving style that really determines whether or not some components live, some components die. Unless, like they stated in the little letter from Castle, some of the bus bars could be wrong or not secured properly. That's an issue. But anyway, guys, comment down below. I'm really anxious to read and learn about your feelings and thoughts on the XL2 ESC and the issues. As far as the Kraton goes, thing runs great. It's phenomenal. I will put a link to the Kraton, the tires, the Vitavon stuff, the XLX2 ESC, which is running fine for me, and the 800 kV motor, the censored one, probably the combo, and pretty much everything I've got on here is down there. There are affiliate links for AMain, eBay, and Amazon. Use those links to check out. Use those links to purchase if you find something you like on here. You're like, you know what? Let's go get that. Bang, click, done. It helps out the channel quite a bit. So, guys, check that description. Use those links. Make sure you're subscribed and smash that like button. And thank you all for watching.
If you like what you see, hit that like button and subscribe. And if you really like it, ring that bell so you get all the new content when it comes on out. Now, starting up very soon, I'm going to start a giveaway for all channel members, and it is going to be monthly. It will be a giveaway, simple, easy payment way to double your return on your subscription fees. So yeah, you might want to check that out. Guys, thank you all for watching.